Are there aspects to your day that you feel as if you're just, checking the box? Do you ever strive to reach out of your comfort zone, become uncomfortable, and level up? Privileged to be your host, this is Jason Wabick. Now, let's uncheck the box. Another great day to everybody out there. Again, my name is Jason Wabick, host of the Uncheck the Box podcast, where today we continue to find ways to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be and continue to push ourselves, grow, be uncomfortable, all of the above, right? And today I want to take a deeper dive on a topic that I've kind of sprinkled into a couple previous episodes. But again, I wanted to kind of take a deeper look into it, and that is the difference between time management and priority management. Now, both are important, okay? And they work somewhat synergistically with each other, but they are mutually exclusive. You can be a great planner of your time, but not have your priorities in order. And then all of a sudden you find out that you were a victim of your day. You just kind of ran in one big circle, and you left work. Ever leave work and you say, man, the day just absolutely crushed me, but yet I don't even know if I really accomplished anything, right? And maybe it's because we could have had a little bit better priority management, right? Or you know exactly what your priorities are, but then you don't know how to plan it inside your day, and those priorities are nothing more than just a great idea that never get accomplished. So let's start out with time management. What are a handful of good takeaways? Number one, plan your day the night before, and we've talked about this before. By giving yourself a heads up on what tomorrow is going to look like, you're mentally prepared for the moment you wake up. So there's no need to waste time and energy trying to get focused on what your strategy is going to be for that day. Not to mention that we know that every time you make a decision, it adds a little bit of stress to your life. So it's starting off the day on the right foot with a low stress, and you are ready to hit the ground running. Number two, cut yourself off after a certain time period. Giving yourself a realistic window for each item that you have to complete is a true benefit. And setting boundaries with your time enables you to focus and rely on the scheduling parameters that you set for yourself. Plus, another benefit will be is that it will minimize mental fatigue, right? There's a start and a finish. If you chop especially a big task up into smaller pieces, it's much more attainable. Number three, embrace ritual. When you're working on how to plan your day to reach specific goals, embracing a degree of ritual will provide the structure and the discipline that you need. We're finding structure and discipline are keys to just about everything we do in life. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Number four, don't be afraid of lists. And we're going to talk more about this once we get to priorities, okay? Don't be afraid of lists, but you don't want to plan your day around to-do lists exclusively, okay? You want to take those activities on that to-do list and make sure that they get into your calendar and your schedule so you can achieve certain goals. So again, to-do lists are not an efficient way to plan your day exclusively. You want to make sure that those get into your schedule, calendar, whatever you use. Regroup every hour. Set an alarm that rings every hour, and when it rings, stand up, stretch, reinvigorate your state. Before getting back to work, ask yourself, how'd the last hour go? Was it productive? How is it going to affect the next hour? Are you ready to move on to the next task? But either way, just do a quick checkup from the neck up. How'd everything go? Again, breaking everything into smaller pieces. Write out your plan every day. Whether you're actually a pen and paper type of person or maybe a Microsoft Outlook type of person, right? Doesn't really matter, but make sure you have that plan that goes from your brain to some sort of organizing tool, right? And then this way, it's a way of basically uncluttering your head and putting it into a system that'll organize you. Prioritize the rescheduled missed tasks. Another good one. We're going to miss some things, right? We're not perfect. We're not going to hit every task that we have to do at the same hour and minute that we plan to do it. So when we miss a task, let's make sure that we reschedule it. And let's schedule it with priority, okay? Those missed tasks, some might be of higher priority than others, so let's make sure we take priority into account. Once again, we're going to get to that. So because of those things called missed tasks, it's a good idea to keep some space open in your calendar because sometimes things don't go according to plan. Another good thing would be to check off completed items on your schedule. By checking things off, it gives yourself a positive sense of accomplishment. And then lastly, watch out for those distractions, my friends. They are an organization killer. Things like notifications, text messages, email pop-ups, things that to some degree we can't avoid for the entire day, but with some organization, some discipline, we can put them aside for periods of time throughout our day. I promise you, my friends, we will be more productive because of it. So now, let's talk about prioritizing. Now that we've got a good structure to our day and a way to plan it, we've got a bunch of things that we have to prioritize. You remember that to-do list, ladies and gentlemen? That to-do list that I said is not an effective way to plan our day, but it's going to be used to fill our day? Now what we have to do is we have to take those to-do lists, okay? And we have to set priority to those items. I was reading this article some time ago, and the author skips me, but it really did stick with me. And it said, ask yourself when prioritizing, is this a $10 an hour job or task, or is this a $100 per hour job or task? And I'll tell you what, that resonated with me because it was very applicable to the question I was asking myself. When prioritizing, my friends, we have to make tough decisions. We have to put certain tasks above others. And I must say this, if we're putting $10 an hour tasks above the $100 an hour tasks, there's a very good chance we're not going to get the results that our goals were set out to achieve, especially when people are depending on us, my friends. So those are things to definitely keep in mind, 10 versus 100. It keeps you from getting bogged down with too many admin things. Are there other people that can assist you with the $10 items? Those are things that we have to make sure that we ask. When prioritizing, we have to unclutter the mind. We talked a little bit about it, but have a place to write things down, like that to-do list. It will definitely save you on mental load because the minute you think of stuff, you can immediately discard it onto that list, pad, book, whatever it might be. It prevents from mental exhaustion because the more stuff that you have to try to remember to do and try to keep housed up in the brain, it will eventually create exhaustion over a sustained period of time. There's this rule, Pareto's rule. A lot of us have probably heard about it, but did you know that when working effectively and efficiently, 20% of the invested input will produce 80% of the results obtained? No matter if we invest 20 hours a day to achieve our goal, if the priorities are not in line, then you may end up doing the work which may not give you the desired outcome. Think about that. 20% of the invested input will produce 80% of the results. But if we're not careful, 80% of the invested input will create 20% of the results. Not so good, right? So some additional best practices. Assign the toughest tasks, okay, at the beginning of the day so that the biggest hurdles, you can overcome them first thing. And that's quite frankly when we are the sharpest, especially if we've had a great morning routine, we are ready to kill the day. That morning time is the best time to be on point. Ask yourself 2 questions when entering into a task, especially if it's a task that is a little bit tougher. Question 1, what do you hope to achieve from doing this? And then question number 2, how do you plan to achieve it? And then if it's a major task, then what you can continue to do is break that task up into shorter goals so that every goal achieved keeps you motivated throughout that day, week, or beyond. My friends, I'll leave you with one more visualization. One thing that I've learned recently, and it really does work, and it's something that's called the Eisenhower method. If you can draw a square on a piece of paper and divide that square into 4 smaller squares. Above the top left box, write the word urgent. Above the top right box, write the word not urgent. To the left of the top left box, write the word important. And then to the left of the bottom left box, it's not important. And you obviously can Google this because it's out there and it's very simple, because then what you do is you match up the words on the left to the words up on top. If the task is important and urgent, so in other words, it's in the top left box, then it's something that you should do right now. If it's not important, but it's urgent, so it's the bottom left box, then that's perhaps something that we could perhaps benefit from delegating it out. Who can help you with that? If it's important but not urgent, so top right box, then it's something that we should plan. Schedule a time to make sure that we get it done. Get it on your calendar. And then lastly, the bottom right box is not important and not urgent. Then we should drop it or perhaps eliminate it. My friends, if you ask yourselves those 2 questions, what do I hope to achieve? How do I plan to achieve it? I remember the Eisenhower method, then rest assured you will find some productivity in your day. You will be a good priority setter with a phenomenal time management plan if you avoid that hamster wheel of unproductivity, my friends. Watch out. Those booby traps are coming for you. The 2021 booby traps, okay? Those pings and dings and all of those oversensory distractions. Watch out for those. My friends, I know I say it every week. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful to have this platform that I can use to be able to connect with all of you. Thank you for all the kind words and text messages, emails, conversations that I have and feedback. I love reading the reviews. If you feel led, take a couple seconds to write a couple comments below. And as always, have a phenomenal rest of the week, and we will see you next time.